I mean, the way they talk about the food here, it sounds like their food is just tastier or like more seasoned. I don't know if it's
They've got less regulations.
Yeah, less regulations. Way more unhealthy.
Probably more toxic and more
got MSG and
chemicals and
like
stuff.
I said to you guys, when I went to McDonald's in New York, those drinks they had cracking it, bro. Like, I swear to God, I've never had it. Like, I'm not a big Coca-Cola fan, in terms of like, if I have it, it would normally, I like it from a bottle. I don't like it like from a can or usually from McDonald's,
Okay.
Bro, I took one sip of, I don't know, I just feel like the taste is not that nice for some reason. Like, I'd much prefer like a Fanta or like a Sprite or something,
Right.
Bro, I took one sip of that Coke, and I was like, this actually tastes so nice. And then
probably not watered down though, right?
Yeah, and it's got all the sugar that we've taken out in it, because obviously sugar tax here in it.
Yeah.
And then the Fanta there was like just as nice. The Sprite, people describe the Sprite as like actually feeling like it has crack in it because it's so like fizzy, it's so sweet. And I hear it, man. It was nice, but like I bought a large and I'm like, I can't finish this. Like,
wow.
I don't think I could finish it. Like, it actually is making my belly feel like
diabetes in a cup.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Speaking of seasoned.
No, I was about to say, speaking of America, but this guy went and did that one.
Speaking of what seasoned meats.
No, like seasonings. Captain America.
Wait, what is this?
Okay.
You're on Matty Bell.
Okay. Wait, what's the seasoning bit? What's the black?
Because he's black in it, yeah.
I mean...
okay. Yeah, speaking of...
let's get on track.
Yeah.
So Captain America... Blacktain America. Hey, this is meant to be my Blacktain America, and this is the shit that they gave me. So Captain America 4, Brave New World. There's not much brave about it. But how did you guys feel about the movie? What was your sort of initial takeaways from the movie?
I mean, I don't think I was expecting much because I really don't like Falcon and Winter. I think it started off really well, but then the speech near the end, and it just got into like loads of weird stuff.
You're talking about the series?
The series, yeah. So I didn't like that. And then the trailers, I was kind of like, yeah. Okay, we'll see Red Hulk, but like, I thought maybe we would see him a lot more than we actually got to see him in the actual movie, the way they were promoting him. And then you start hearing stuff about who they're going to introduce and the characters that's going to be in the film, who's not going to be in the film. And I'm like, this ensemble really isn't doing it for me. Like, as much as I like Anthony Mackie and as a person, as an actor as well, I wasn't really excited about the movie to begin with. So when it came out, I was like, I'll leave it for a bit, and I'm only just watching it because we have to do it for here. But so when I watched the film, I was like, meh. It wasn't offensive, but like also didn't do anything for me. Like I don't think it pushed the needle for, like, as much as say Brave New World, like it's the same world. Like, I mean, the only thing that we saw was the fact that they actually made a reference to the was it Tiamat?
Tiamat, yeah.
It's like, apart from that, I'm like, okay. But then I was like, we're mining it for resources. I'm like, oh, okay, that's probably what we do here. But I'm like, what's actually new that we saw?
Yeah. I mean, I think the Brave New World thing is whether they can embrace him as Captain America or not.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, for me, like...
No, that's true, isn't it?
No, as a viewer, I felt like he was Captain America. He's just a new figure. Obviously, we had John Walker, that didn't work out, and then now we've got what's his name? Sam as Captain America. As far as a movie goes, I thought it was okay in terms, like, for a Phase 1 Marvel movie.
Yeah,
like you said, it doesn't push the needle. It's not spectacular. It doesn't feel like a Captain America movie. And I guess that's not fair on him because Captain America, the first 3 movies, he had Winter Soldier, which was a fantastic movie. And not many MCU movies even measure up against Winter Soldier. And then you got Civil War, which had Black Panther and Zemo, and it was just great. So it's hard to match up against that level of movies. But I did feel like the movie didn't reach the expectation that it should have. Like, it didn't feel like a Captain America movie. However, with that said, I did enjoy some parts. I did enjoy how kind of grounded it was. And then when they revealed the Tiamat thing, like adamantium, obviously Wolverine's gonna be like he's on the way in the MCU, so that's kind of exciting. But it was more like a movie of random things happening. So like the Tiamat, the Red Hulk. I didn't feel like Red Hulk even needed to be in a movie.
Yeah.
All I needed was a grounded Captain America movie that showed more of Sam. But it didn't achieve that in my eyes.
I think it's interesting you say that because without Red Hulk, then this movie is way worse.
Yeah, but they took a different direction. The focus, like even the guy who was manipulating everything. I don't know his name.
The leader, I think.
The leader, yeah, whatever his name is. I just didn't like that direction. They probably should have like skipped or missed all of that. Red Hulk himself, the whole Betty thing, and don't get me started about how it ended. But like, it could have went a completely different story, direction, script, everything, and it could have been a lot better with Sam as the focal point. I did kind of enjoy the part that he was, I guess, him being Joaquin is his name, his like mentor. But this is Sam's first rodeo as Captain America. We're not seeing much of that, and that's the focus of the movie. That should be the focus of the movie, and we just didn't see that on screen for me.
Yeah, so I didn't enjoy the movie. There's parts of it that I did enjoy. Like I thought some of the fight scenes were good. I liked the kind of the one that they have on where like on the ocean with like where they're battling in the sky with like the pilots and stuff. I thought that was quite cool. But there was just it felt like a Hulk movie or like a Red Hulk movie.
Yeah.
And we only got 10 minutes of Red Hulk or whatever it was. So it was like it was all that build up for just that. Like we were saying in the car, if he turned into Red Hulk on the boat, and then we see Red Hulk again later.
Yeah.
Like I'm okay with that
because he was fantastic. Red Hulk, the character, like the way he was jumping about, that had me shook.
Yeah.
He was jumping like 2003 Hulk.
Yeah. Like we've missed the Hulk, like, so it was nice to have that there. But it just felt like the plot was very weak. Like that leader guy, you're meant to be this smart guy or whatever, and I swear all of his equations were wrong, or like all of his calculations were wrong.
Exactly.
Like everything that he masterminded didn't work.
Yeah.
And his master plan at the end was to get put in prison. So and tell Sam
people are coming or something.
Yeah. No. Sorry. You know, like where he sees Sam in the courtyard, and he's just explaining everything to him, and then he turns into Red Hulk. So his master plan was just turning the president into
because like why did he need to be there?
Yeah. And do you know what the maddest bit is? He killed the guy, Sam's boy.
Yeah.
And then went to Sam.
It's
and
like,
told him,
your boy.
Yeah, he said, "I killed your boy," and then told him the information that his boy was going to tell him. Why not?
Yeah.
But and also,
just a bad villain.
How did he even get there? You know, when he kills
jumped.
that guy,
he
just
there's
no like. Not I know not everything needs to be explained, but why the hell was he there? Like,
I don't know.
This guy was in some random house on the phone before that when they're having that battle on the boat, and then all of a sudden he just turns up there, like.
Because it's like, if him showing up doesn't, I don't think it actually does anything. Because like Harrison Ford's character was getting angry from the reporters and the questions anyway, and then his voice in the speakerphone.
Yeah.
Like if he could have just stayed at home.
If he wasn't there, what is Sam gonna do?
Exactly, everything would have happened.
Yeah.
But then Sam wouldn't
Nothing
have
changes.
Been like, he would have been even more unprepared because now he knows like, nothing's gonna happen.
The only difference is Sam doesn't know, I guess, the ins and outs of it or like the full story. But I feel like, you know, you look up and there's the Red Hulk. I feel like you're going to gather what the fucking story is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so I think a big problem that this film had is it felt like they over-explained a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there were so many points of it where characters are just describing things that happened. And I'm like, we don't need this. We know this.
Yeah.
So it's like, if they're doing that thing where they're appealing to like a new audience or whatever, I feel like, fuck that. Because that's what makes the film bad. Like if you're having to over-explain
phase 5
stuff.
now. What is this?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I'm like, I'm sorry if you'll get like, I don't care if you're like
like
7 and you understand movies now. Like, so you got to keep up, bro. Like,
right, yeah.
Like summer holidays, you can be watching Marvel movies. Like, I don't need to.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus is out there, man. Like, or alternative means, you know.
Yeah.
But it just felt like they just went over and over and over again just to explain things, and it just took away a lot of the movie. And then sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say another thing is this film was like they must have went into that room and was like, all right, we need this to be a hit. what bangs before Winter Soldier? Okay, cool. Let's just copy that and slightly change it.
Yeah.
You've got mind control via the song. You've got the leader who's basically a BTEC Zemo.
Yeah,
he's green, so I guess DEI Zemo. Like, then you've got obviously the film it's not because that's in Civil War where that happens, right? Sorry, I'm talking about Winter Soldier. But that kind of copies Civil War where it's not necessarily just about Captain America. He's trying to turn Iron Man against Captain America and Winter Soldier for what he did, for what they did to his mum or to his parents. So it kind of copies that, where it's not really about Captain America, this film. It's about trying to turn Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically, and with all of the stuff that we get with Ross and his daughter, it felt like Sam was a side character in his own movie. Like, I just don't get it.
Do you think that was what direction they were aiming for? To show that Captain America isn't the focal point of the Avengers?
That's so bad.
Even though they asked him to form the Avengers, he is serumless, so there's no super soldier serum. So are they trying to make it clear that he's not going to be the same Captain America as Steve was by incorporating the Hulk?
I don't think so.
Red Hulk and all this other nonsense.
I don't think so, because they gave a lot with Sam to show that wasn't the case. But then I think, however it must have originally panned out, I know obviously they allegedly did reshoots. However they reshot it must have just completely changed it, because it doesn't make sense. It just feels like it's Captain America and the Red Hulk.
Yeah, it did feel like that.
And the fact that we only got him for 10 minutes is a travesty. And
he was good for those 5-10 minutes.
He
should have been an extra 20 minutes.
Yeah, he was.
At least. Yeah. We got to saw who was it in Avengers Ultron, Age of Ultron, right? Was it Ultron? When did Iron Man fight Hulk? The Hulk Buster.
Yeah, it was Ultron.
It was Ultron, right?
Yeah.
Was it Ultron?
Yeah.
Okay,
it was
Ultron.
Witch.
Yeah. Manipulated him. That was a fantastic fight. We could have got something like that. I'm not saying that Sam should measure up against Hulk anyway, but we could have had other ways of, instead of the big fight on the boats, we could have had something like that, and it would have been much better in terms of action and incorporating the characters like Red Hulk. But seeing a serumless Captain America fight Red Hulk, it just didn't make sense. The way it ended, and then you got the talk no jutsu at the end.
That's a travesty.
I completely crashed out at that point.
It was the cherry blossoms for me.
Bro, I said to him what I meant in the chat earlier. Yeah, as soon as I saw the blossom trees, that's when I went to walk out, because I knew what was gonna happen, bro. I knew they were gonna do some emotional shit. Yeah. She's probably just gonna. I thought she was gonna turn up.
I thought she was gonna turn up.
That would have made more sense than Sam talking him down.
Nah.
Because
either way,
the amount of time we saw the Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner's Hulk, before he managed to calm down, it must have been like 4 movies, like Avengers 1, Avengers 2.
But I feel like we still saw Incredible Hulk get slapped up a fair bit. Not I guess not ever really defeated, but we still seen him get slapped up.
He fought Abomination and stuff.
Yeah.
Even the dogs saw Red Hulk.
We saw Red Hulk for 5 to 10 minutes, and he was able to calm down from talking.
That's what I'm saying. He should have had a much longer spree. Yeah. We should have seen him earlier. It just
If Betty came in that moment, it would have made more sense for me though that he would have been able to calm down at that moment, as opposed to Sam talking him down.
Because it's it's the first time he's seen the Hulk. Like, how did he know about the cherry blossoms? Like, he went directly for the cherry blossoms.
And you're telling us that this is a super serumless Captain America.
Yeah.
He's already
he should have got battered.
Yeah. He's already at a deficit. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the problem I have, the part where him and Joaquin go to find the leader's base or whatever. Yeah. Why does Sam not take the suit?
Which suit?
Yeah, I was thinking like I thought at some point I was like, why is this man always like without his armor?
Bro, I felt like I saw him like
We have nanotech.
fighting without the armor,
Oh.
than more so
Yeah.
than with it. And I'm like, you're already just a normal guy.
Yeah,
Like,
you
fair
should
enough,
be
you
like-
trained with Isaiah, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're a normal guy, and we've seen what this fucking suit can do. It's got vibranium shit, and it,
Yeah.
you know, it blocks stuff and whatever. Why are you not running around with that?
Even like in the scene
it's not
when
like
he,
you're on the
Doesn't
run.
he have
When-
Kevlar underneath or something? he
I
said?
don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think
When he got stabbed, he had. They mentioned that he had.
Oh,
some
maybe
sort of-
yeah, but still though, like
like even when they first like the first scene when they showed the suit, I was laughing because like he pulled out the trend and like it was wobbling. I was like, nah, you have to retake that again. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why is it wrong?
yeah.
I was like, this is not a serious movie.
Mm.
I just think like they just did a lot to undersell him.
Yeah.
We've got
And-
nanotech. Why is he
I mean,
having to manage?
And then
Yeah. Sorry. The Wakandans do have nanotech, don't they?
like, everyone's nanotech.
Oh my god. Yeah. This
And
doesn't
then
make sense.
the other point about them underselling him, why then is he having because he didn't beat Hulk, he took no jutsu to him.
He
Yeah.
drew
So-
like most of his villains.
Yeah, I don't think he beat anyone
Did he
except
beat-
that guy at the start when
What,
he
the-
when he fractured his arm or
The
something.
guy from
Star
Breaking
Wars,
Bad.
was his name?
Is
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
is that him? Okay, yeah.
Gus.
Gus.
That's
Yeah.
that's the only guy he beat in the whole movie.
Yeah, he's just a human.
But like, then the guy called him. Like, oh, I expected you to beat him.
Yeah.
Oh no, the worst part about the leader, yeah, he was like, when I got his guy imprisoned, there was an 89% chance that he was gonna give up.
Yeah.
How do you calculate that?
I was thinking, where's like, oh,
Like,
I,
what?
I rarely get surprised, but there was a 10% chance that you'd come here. I'm like,
Shut up!
like what do you
What
get
does that
10%
mean?
from?
Isn't he one of the nerds from Incredible Hulk? I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
like,
But like,
where
no, but
where
how-
are these numbers coming
No,
from?
like
You have to imagine like he's sitting in his prison or whatever it is for like many years, and he's obviously he's not a villain at
no,
heart.
but how do you calculate whether someone will give up or not? There's
I
no
don't know,
formula
yeah.
to like you can look at the historical data, yeah, and see that he's never given up.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like you're like what? I just don't get it.
yeah. I mean,
What made this guy
we
smart?
Yeah.
There was nothing in
Yeah.
this movie that showed us he was smart, other than the fact that he put gamma into those pills.
And he just loves showing up there. I'm like, when the guy was like behind the door and he was talking to him, I'm like
Yeah,
rush him.
yeah,
Like, we know he's smart. Like, this
Yeah.
man's like gonna get out of breath after,
Yeah.
but just like chase him.
Mm.
Like, they were just like, oh, we're just gonna stop you. We're just gonna, oh, you think that's gonna stop us? I was like, just go after the man. He's
Yeah.
right there. Like, what are they doing?
it just felt like
I mean, he did
Oh.
manage to neutralize Captain America in that prison area
I mean,
when
he
he
had
charged
that.
it. Yeah,
what's it called?
that
That.
shield thingy, like
Yeah.
so.
But
He's
I'm like,
smart.
the other guy could have just gone around it. Like, what's he doing?
and to be
Oh,
fair,
Joaquin.
and to
Yeah,
be fair, is that really that smart though? Because everyone's got tech these days, and all
Yeah.
he's got is it's above. If Sam had just looked up, he would have thought, okay, what's this weird thing that up there? Like that can
I
freeze
mean,
me.
like when you're charging at someone, you're not
Yeah.
gonna go around, are you?
Hey, listen,
You're going
man.
the shortest distance, aren't you?
My Captain America probably would in that, but I don't know. I don't know about this one. So what did you guys think then of Sam then as Captain America in terms of where it's going to go, how he was portrayed in the movie, and
Mhm.
and
I
do you
mean-
think there should do you think there was a better choice
Oh, as in,
as in for Captain America, like out of the characters that are there?
Oh, out of the potential
I
characters,
mean,
it could have
Bucky's a
been.
senator now, so like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, so he's the only one who's like, who's got time. Really.
Yeah.
The difference between him and Bucky is Bucky's got super soldier, or he's an enhanced soldier or something, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if you're talking about pure like physical strength,
Pure
then,
is crazy.
yeah, physical strength. Yeah.
Area.
No, just the word pure.
Oh no, I mean like
No,
Yeah.
purely
Yeah.
physical strength. Then obviously Bucky
Yeah.
fits the role, but like
Yeah.
Bucky
Mm.
said, Captain America is more than
It's more than
the serum.
yeah.
Oh yeah, in
Um,
his speech it was like, oh, you give everyone something to aspire to. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Steve did that as well.
Mm.
I'm like, would you?
Oh yeah, like people would want to be him in it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
Mm.
grow up to be him as opposed to
Which speech? The
getting
one
a
they had
super serum.
when they were talking about the serum.
yeah,
or
when
in Captain-
Joaquin was in the hospital bed.
Oh, okay,
Which is
yeah.
BS as
I mean, this is twice now that he's given speeches, and it shows like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier when he was speaking to those senators in
Mm.
front of the TV screen, like it looks like his power is talking to people.
Speech-
I'm not even joking. Like talking no
speech
jutsu is his
Yeah.
thing,
Speech man.
because it's not strength.
Mm.
It's not that. I mean, he was a great Falcon,
It's not money because he only got that one suit.
and he couldn't even get a loan from the bank or something. So
Yeah, I'm like, his sister's still on the boat. Like, what happened to his sister? Like, what happened there?
If you're talking about Captain America, Steve Rogers, then no, but he does something better than Steve, maybe, which is the talk no jutsu stuff. I don't know if that's a credit to him or it's just like a way to compensate.
Maybe he should be the congressman.
Maybe, yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Captain Uzumaki.
Mm.
There's literally no difference between someone who can talk to world leaders and I don't know. It's an awkward one.
I didn't like how willing he was to work for the government, because I feel like we've had 3 movies of Captain America,
especially he was on the run with him as well. So
basically telling us not to fully trust the government. You're protecting America, but not for the government. And Sam walks up into this movie and is running into the White House, trying to get Isaiah to come with him. And I'm like, I understand, but then at the same time I don't, because they're saying like the world's. He says something like the world's a mess. Like the people need the Avengers and whatever. The people that they like. I need to work for the government for this reason, but they didn't really, as much as they over-explain stuff, they didn't really tell us what exactly is going wrong with the world, because all we know is that Tiamat thing's there.
If anything, that's more resources.
Yeah, exactly. So if anything,
resources.
they're in a good place. Like why does he specifically need to work for the government? And then the government shows him why he shouldn't work for them, like with the whole Isaiah Bradley stuff. Like
for one, you can't let that get into the wrong hands. That's for one.
What?
The adamantium.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm talking as in, why does he feel the need that he has to? Like, I feel like the world is not in that much jeopardy.
Yeah, I think with Sam's position, he's been given the role of Captain America by Captain America. So that means Steve trusts Sam to make the right decisions. I think, especially with being on the run with Steve, like, he knows as Captain America, he can't just be a vigilante. He has to be. There must be some sort of, is it de facto? Well, he needs to be working with the government in some way. But he also doesn't trust them blindly because of the whole Isaiah stuff. And
if
he did,
it feels like he does.
No, but if he did, he would have stayed out of it from the get go.
Yeah, no, I mean, it feels like he fully trusts them.
Because it sounds like his only contingency was that other secretary lady just watching him. Like, it's not really doing much.
Yeah,
but he was going behind the scenes in areas where he shouldn't have been.
But like when it came,
by the president as well. So
but when the president, like, I guess, ousted him from the operations, like, he had no power. Like, there was no one else for him to rely on. Apart from that lady.
At that point, it's like, I've tried to do it the legal way with the permission from the government. They've ousted me, so now I'm gonna go do it the vigilante way. So it's not like he fully trusts them, but I think he understands himself that he can't be a complete vigilante operating on his own accord. Like, he can't do that.
I just think though, like,
otherwise he wouldn't have went to the president. Like,
it just felt like he was very naive, because it was too trusting, too willing to get involved, and then he just cut him out the picture just like that because of the Isaiah thing, which, you know, could be fair enough. But the fact that he doesn't again speak to the president until like a lot later into the film, because the president is just not wanting anything to do with him. Like, you know, when he comes onto the boat and they're like, oh, he's shouting at that woman like, you had one job to keep him away, blah blah blah. I'm like, why do you want to work for this guy? I understand he's the president, but like, it's like they say earlier in the movie, it's Ross. Like Ross is not really a good guy. I know he's trying to change it around, but
I mean, at that point, it did make sense, because you're trying to stop a war happening. Literally, the moment that.
So why wouldn't you want Captain fucking America to help you? And Captain America did
like
help.
he said he wasn't stealing it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
after that, I've got to slap him and leave the room. Like, there's no way. What do you mean? Listen, I ain't got super strength, but I can slap you. Like, that's crazy.
It did feel out of place though when he said
that. I thought I was like, wait, what?
I was like, wait.
Because I saw it in the trailer and I was thinking, okay, that's gonna be like after something crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you just said it randomly.
You just said it randomly, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Was that the anger thing? Like, he's just getting angry, or
I don't know.
Honestly, at this point, if it don't make sense, I feel like it's reshoots in it. I feel like they've chopped and changed and edited it all around.
It felt out of pocket.
But it did. Even I was like, whoa. That kind of felt motivated. I can't lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey.
Was that a hard R?
Yeah, literally, bro. You're not Steven Rogers, like, you know what I mean? Oh man. You ever seen it? I actually brought this up to someone the other day. Have you ever seen Everybody Hates Chris? Where that police officer is describing him. They're describing like what he looked like, and then they describe him whatever, and then he's like, this is what the police officer heard. he's black, 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 black. That's what he was doing. Like, you're not white. But yeah, that just it felt really just like it shouldn't have been there. But hey, man, they got to do what they got to do. Let's see positives of the movie. What did you guys think was great about the movie, or at least good about the movie?
So, like you said, if it wasn't over explained throughout the movie, then it could have been slightly better. I mean, you're chasing an unknown entity. We know that from the Batman. Like, it can be done well. You just need to have more grounded things. As I was saying in the car, I do feel like, especially with MCU movies, in comparison to those like Fox, and even the Marvel, the Netflix series, it does feel a bit somewhat comical. Like, it does feel like, there's a villain, we're going to save the day, it's going to be all fine eventually. But there's no like serious jeopardy. Like, even the whole Japan versus America thing, like, I saw it from a mile away that they're going to solve this issue. It's not going to be complete like warfare. It just doesn't seem serious enough, and I feel like that's where Marvel movies in general are going downhill, especially when you need to have more grounded movies. Like, for example, when you watch The Penguin, you actually see that someone's death actually means something. Whereas in this one, it's just like, oh yeah, a couple soldiers are dead, but it doesn't really mean anything in the whole.
Like I said, his friend, his informer guy, who finds
like
out
that did feel kind of like
he died, and then he just cut to the next scene, and he just tells him that his boy's dead.
Done. Yeah, and it's done, right? Like, they didn't take the deaths properly. So if they just grounded things like that, for example, if even Joaquin's injury, that could have been done a lot.
I blamed him for. I was like, just listen.
I mean, it was probably was. But like, it could have been like he lost a limb or something, or do you know what I mean? Like, it could have been a lot more serious.
To be injured at all, I was like, oh, this guy's so dramatic. Like, just get up.
I mean, wait.
I was like, yeah, I can't swim, but like, I'm not staying at hospital bed.
Just in general, if the tone of the movie was more grounded, even like Winter Soldier, it was really grounded, and you felt like there was danger in the movie. It just didn't seem dangerous for me at all. Even the Red Hulk, like
the thing is though, is with Winter Soldier, it was grounded, but the stakes were way higher.
That's what I mean. Yeah, the stakes were higher.
Like the whole Hydra infiltrating like the government and infiltrating the world. Basically, it felt it kind of made you feel like, you know, is that something that happens today or whatever.
Yeah,
like it makes you feel like it could be the actual end of America or the end of the world or whatever when you're actually watching it. Whereas this, it kind of felt like, it's Japan beefing America. The president is going to turn into Red Hulk. Like you kind of don't feel like there's a danger. Like the end game of it is like catastrophic. Do you know what I mean?
Because I guess the whole purpose of this, like the villains, like his main goal was just to expose Ross for who he was. So he just wanted everyone to see him as Red Hulk, which is like, was that it?
Yeah, like that's.
And then the guy just turned himself in afterwards. I'm like
they both turned themselves in. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm like, what's the point of this?
The MCU is just not serious. That's just the way
we need like proper villains. We need like crazy villains.
Yeah.
Like when they did the whole thing where like, oh, we just killed random captives. I'm like, if you're gonna kill someone, kill Isaiah. Like, I don't care. These people, I don't even know who. I don't even know who died. I know like some random people got hypnotized somehow. They didn't even explain that. They were like, oh, they just all
They could have done this so much better.
And then it was like, okay, we saw this random security guard just kill these two people. I'm like, okay, on to the next one. Like, who are these people?
Yeah, it just didn't. Yeah, it didn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were meant to be on good points.
Oh,
so
good points.
Good points.
So having said that, I think it's good they're going in a different direction. The action was not too bad. The Hulk was great. It should have been 20 minutes longer, and we should have seen some serious battering against Sam, because, like you said, he's super serumless, and you're up against Hulk. This ain't like no rodeo that he's never faced someone like this big. I don't think in his entire career as Falcon, even. Like, didn't he get punched down by Thanos as well?
Probably
in Wakanda. When Thanos appeared, I think he was trying to shoot.
I think so.
Yeah, he was trying to shoot Thanos, and Thanos used the stone. Sorry, the space stone, I think, or whatever, to manipulate him. Like that Thanos beat up Bruce Banner Hulk. How do I expect him to face up against someone of similar power levels to Bruce Banner?
That's where the suit and
he's
the
competitive.
wings come in.
But I don't care about any suit or wings. That doesn't mean anything to me.
No, but they should they do help. To be fair,
they help, but
he shouldn't win.
Like I swear, at one point, Red Hulk's grabbed the flag or pole and then smacked him, and he was able to withstand it or like stop it from hitting the other agents around him or soldiers.
The point of it is that he broke the wing.
He just ripped it.
Yeah, he broke the wing. So at that point, there should be no way that Falcon wins.
And then he held him in his hand as well.
I just don't understand. He's not that strong. Like he should have broke a bone at least or something.
Yeah. Good points.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Let me say a good point then. So kind of like what you're saying with the action. Actually, I think this is kind of going to be a bad point. But like, I think a lot of the fighting was good in the sense of that it kind of did a lot to show how skilled Sam is, like in his like hand-to-hand combat, like that early scene with that soldier guy that he beats up.
He cheated.
Yeah, he did, to be fair, but still though, like I feel like the actual kind of like choreography of it was good. But again, the part of it I don't like is I think they were kind of like cutting a lot too much, like in between, like. Kind of like punches and like kicks and stuff, and like slowing it down and like kind of making it obvious that they're trying to like show like how good of a fighter he is. Whereas if you compare that to like say Winter Soldier, for example, it felt like there were barely any cuts. It's all just kind of one take like punches and then it would cut and then like it just felt like it was so much more seamless.
Even in both fights, him versus GSP. In the beginning of Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then against Bucky as well.
Yeah, the one I was speaking of
that was
Bucky,
serious. Like, that was serious
one,
hand to hand. But this one didn't feel like. Yeah, that's a bad point.
It felt like they were more. It was more tricks than anything. Yeah. But then, like I was saying earlier, the sort of plain dogfights that they had when they're fighting around the boat and stuff, I thought that was really good. Like I enjoyed that part of it. So
it's too comical for me again.
Anthony,
I guess
any good points?
I mean, I think Sam did a good job in portraying his character, or Anthony Mackie did a good job in portraying his character. So I think he did what he could given the limited script.
Yeah,
I think the performances were fine. I think I just didn't like what they were having to perform, but like no one was like oh, that person's a bit of a bad actor or anything like that. Which is kind of like, I don't really care for the script. Like it feels like a waste of good actors on like a very meaty script. It's like even the the Japanese Prime Minister. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like what are we doing here? It's like, okay, we'll take Harrison Ford, we'll fly him to have this like one scene where it's like, oh, we find out that your agents were they were plotting behind the scenes and this is your fault, and then he's back off in the next on a plane being like, oh, we're gonna take over everything. I'm like that could have been a phone call or anything. It's like, so I mean, I feel like they did what they could do, but I just didn't like what they had to do. The Hulk CGI looks good.
Yeah, I'll give them that. He did look like a good Hulk.
I like the dynamic between Sam and what's the older guy called?
Isaiah.
Yeah, Isaiah.
Yeah.
I like.
You know what? That dynamic was actually really good. It was a lot more believable than I guess what they tried to portray in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like I actually believed like a lot of what they were saying and there's an actual connection and whatnot. So I think those two in particular were really good.
Yeah, I feel like what could have been a bit more beneficial is if we saw like Sam actually doing stuff for the community, because it just felt like he was just doing stuff. Oh, government. Yeah. Like I didn't get to see him outside of Captain America. Apart from that, the moment we had with Joaquin and also with Isaiah and with Bucky. Apart from that, everything else was very business-like. There was no really real like personal relationships, which is why I don't think I cared too much. I mean, maybe the friend of his who died, but then he was kind of asking him to do a job anyway.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like,
the only thing I didn't like about sort of Sam's like relationships was that limo scene when they're doing like when they're reeling off like it kind of felt a bit cringe to me. I don't know why. You know when they're in the limo going to the president's thing, that just
I
that scene
thought about
just
his
felt really
suit.
when they
Yeah.
talk about the suit and I was like, nah, this is this.
I
It felt
forgot that happened.
I liked it.
It felt like they were really trying to over egg the point of that
Yeah.
that these guys
Like
are
what they
friends
did
and-
in the gym was fine.
Yeah. That's fine. You can see they've got banter. You can see they've got a rapport. Like,
Yeah.
It just the limo just felt a bit over the top, but it was.
I kind of liked
that's
it.
neither here
'Cause
nor there.
It felt like that was more of a Sam Captain America.
Mm.
Like he obviously relates to Isaiah a lot.
Mhm.
He's basically fulfilling the role that Isaiah should have,
Mm.
like many years ago. He should have been the
Blacktain
He should have been
America,
a
let's go!
he should have been the Captain America.
Oh.
And then you have to imagine that he was imprisoned as well for like many
Yeah.
years. Like he didn't get to enjoy his youth,
Yeah.
I imagine.
Mm.
So I kind of liked it, and also that rapport he has with Joaquin as well. It kind of made it more believable.
Mhm.
Like they were just doing the whole mentoring thing throughout the movie, but it didn't show that.
Mhm.
It wouldn't show the friendly kind of. 'Cause assuming that you haven't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Mhm.
it wouldn't demonstrate that he has a good relationship with Joaquin, which obviously he does. If you're able to.
Oh
do
wait,
that.
was he in that as well?
Joaquin was, yeah.
Oh,
Joaquin was in Falcon and the
think
Winter
so.
Soldier. He was one of the army guys.
Oh, okay, that makes
Oh,
sense.
right,
Yeah,
okay.
I was
Yeah.
thinking
So,
like, police
like-
officer.
And then you have to imagine that he's the next Falcon. So, or he is the Falcon now.
Oh yeah, because I was thinking when he was like, "Oh, I look like I want to be just like you." I'm like,
Mm.
I didn't believe that at all. I'm like, who's looking up to the Falcon?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, wait,
I think
you-
so. His Falcon is badass, like
Yeah,
in
he's
his own
good,
right.
yeah.
But
I mean,
like,
there's levels in it. Like if we're
Yeah.
doing tiers in it, like
exactly.
no one wants to be a tier 4. Like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no offense.
Oh
All right, let's move on to things then that we didn't like about the movie. 'Cause
wow.
I feel like
Do we not talk about
unless there's more good points.
it? Well, there's definitely not many good points.
Yeah, so
But
I'll be surprised if Precious has any.
I guess we can start with Ruth.
Yeah,
I
let's
just-
start with Ruth.
She's supposed to be a widow.
B-Tech widow,
Yeah, it felt like a B-Tech widow. That's what it felt like.
like Z-list, like widow.
Like she must have been like the last of her class. Like there's no
Yeah.
way that she's
Yeah.
like the same widow as Scarlett Johansson
yeah.
was. Like this even Yelena is a much better widow than
Yelena
her.
clears her.
It just felt out of place. Maybe it was the wrong actress to portray her, but I guess I didn't like the fact that she was hired by the president to do the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem in place for Thaddeus Ross to hire her. For me, he's supposed to be this like army general guy, and you're hiring potential spies
Yeah,
from other.
exactly.
It just doesn't make sense. Like as a advisor,
Mm.
Yeah.
it just felt out of place.
She was also a terrible advisor. Like she didn't
Yeah.
bring anything to the story. She didn't bring anything to Ross.
Yeah.
She was always a step behind Sam
Mm.
and his informant.
Maybe that's
guy,
the
whatever.
point. Maybe that's the point that they were trying to show, which is the president doesn't want someone like Captain America on his side. He wants someone that that will just listen to him blindly and just do what he asks for.
Maybe, but she was just terrible. Like there was,
But it could have been a million other people that could have done
Yeah.
that job.
she just like we said it in the car. She had like one kind of action scene where she was fighting. Who was she even fighting?
It was in the basement thing when they had like those
Oh yeah, when
So she was fighting NPCs.
yeah
Pretty much, yeah.
NPCs yeah.
Yes.
So she got that, and then, bro, she was just running around.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
she was
Yeah.
just running around like Pat Beverly running around. Like I just don't understand.
yeah.
Like it genuinely felt like her character, and even maybe some of the other characters as well. They were just like, all right, we need someone else in the story. Let's just cook up the most NPC person
Yeah.
and give them a role.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
you're just here for what?
And for that reason, there's heights that character could never reach,
Yeah.
just because they are an NPC character. Like
Yeah.
it's like I don't care about
Like
this.
now, we're supposed to expect this lady to be in other movies, like to have other
Please,
stories.
no.
Like, can you imagine? Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, because it's not like she. Even when we like saw the scene she was in, it's not like she was like the first one to like learn this new information. It's kind of like, oh, Sam was like, oh yeah, my friend's getting brainwashed, and then we see her seeing CCTV of like all those flashes in people's faces. Let me go investigate that. And it's like she's like doing the same
Yeah.
steps as Sam, but
Mhm.
like 2 scenes later, I'm like,
Mm.
why are we here?
Do you know what? It felt like the movie hired the wrong characters and actresses or actors to play them, including obviously the leader, maybe even Red Hulk as well should have been in it. But it completely missed an opportunity to have what's her name, the Power Broker, to be in it.
Oh yeah, big Sharon Carter, man. Let's go.
Yeah. She would have been great in this movie.
Yeah,
like everything she does is another level to what this B-Tech Widow does.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the authority to do something as well because she's in Madripoor doing what she's doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
So it completely missed opportunities for me to be a good action Captain America movie.
Mm-hmm.
And instead we got shitty characters. So welcome. How are the hosts?
Richard's finally made it.
Okay, nice.
What time did you call this?
Okay. And then, like I said, what it didn't do well was it just felt comical and there was no high stakes really. And if you're going to show potential World War III, then actually have nukes on board or, like on standby, armies like gathering. Because it didn't feel like there was going to be much...
like much fallout from
the
what would happen
on the where Tiamat was.
Yeah,
there should have been a lot more ships at least. Like it should have been like Army General being contacted. The Attorney General. What's it called? The person who runs the army.
Sign of Defense, isn't it?
Yeah, the Ministry of Defense. Someone on standby for this whole thing. It just didn't seem like it was.
It's very America centric. Like if there was World War's about to happen, it's like but it's only like America or Japan.
Yeah,
like it wasn't very.
It also kind of felt weird that it was Japan. Like of all of the
when you're talking resources, India was involved. Who else was involved? At the obviously was the Prime Minister shot at when Isaiah Bradley shot up the president?
Yeah,
yeah. So it kind of made sense.
And then Sam saved him.
Yeah. Sorry, I just realised you got your head.
Oh yeah.
I didn't notice. You used to notice, but I didn't. Oh, how long was it before?
How long was it?
Yeah. Oh fucking hell! How did I not notice? To be fair, you normally wear a hat, right?
No. You almost never wears a hat.
It's only him and Anubis who wear.
Yeah.
What, not like a New Era hat?
You're tripping.
New Era.
Wait, so when you go football, you don't wear a hat or anything?
No.
Oh, crazy.
Which Asian are you hanging out with?
Yeah, innit, man. I need to wake up. So Precious, thoughts and feelings on the movie?
I came in late. I'm just going to throw out my hot takes about this movie.
Yeah, please. Yeah. By the way, just to recap, I hate the movie. These guys, I guess it was very mediocre.
Yeah.
I thought you might like it.
It was a bad script.
What? Me?
Yeah, because you usually like shitty shit.
Oh, wow.
So I'm pleasantly surprised.
Bad script, lazy characters, some lazy actresses.
Yeah.
Some.
So basically, we've talked about the good points. It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it wasn't that long.
What was the good points? Just
it was barely any.
I thought some of the action was good in terms of like the fight scenes and the boat ship scene and stuff. Like
the dynamic between Sam and Bradley, Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, I thought that actually kind of came across well.
CGI for Red Hulk, things like that. And
that was actually
now we're tinkering on the bad parts.
Yeah, but for the most part, I was saying before that this basically felt like a cheap ripoff of Winter Soldier, and it felt like they were trying to pull some of the hits. It felt like it feels really janky, sort of in the middle and sort of around it, where allegedly they reshot a lot of it, so you can kind of tell when watching the movie, like some of it just doesn't really make sense. Like one of the points earlier that we said, the leader guy, the bad guy, he somehow kills that informant that's like Sam's friend or whatever, and then the next scene goes and tells Sam the information that guy was going to tell him, which he didn't need to do because Sam's going to know literally in 10 seconds that the Red Hulk is standing in front of him. It just felt like that, and the fact that they over explain everything throughout the whole movie is just crazy. Like there feels like so much explanation.
So basically, just 5 minutes into this movie, I was already about to lose my mind because the exposition, like you just mentioned, the script, horrible.
There's one part, where Ross is like, he says something like, have you spoke to Betty, my daughter? I feel like you're speaking to your assistant. Yeah, why would your assistant not know that that's your daughter? You shouldn't have to say.
That's a perfect example.
You shouldn't have to say it.
Because
Like,
people usually like. Because I was debating in my head, like, if someone just says, "Oh, the exposition was terrible," what is exposition, right? It's just this whole thing of catching people up and like explaining the story, but you're doing it between characters as opposed to having the whole thing stand still and someone just
like narration in it. Yeah,
I feel like they were trying to make it between characters, but they were just like dumping information. That's a perfect example because like this person is your chief of staff. She knows everything there is to know about you. Like, like, why do you need to tell her? Like, why do you need to tell her that? And it was just, the whole movie just seemed like a really, really shitty, like low budget, like you said, rip-off of Winter Soldier. It's like if you gave a college student like bunch of million, just say like, get as close to Winter Soldier.
You know those movies that like go straight to film 4 or like
yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't even disrespect them like that because like visually you can see that's where the money went as far as the visual effects and stuff, and even that's saying a lot. But like the actual story and like, I always go back to character motivations and like character decisions, and it's just a bunch of stupidity. And my biggest thing, like I've heard some people complain about like Anthony Mackie and like why he's just not Cap, and it's like some people have simplified it to like, oh, he's got no aura. Like you don't have that main character energy, and he really doesn't. Like it's one of those things where if I was him, I wouldn't like. I would just carry on. It's a job to me at this point. I have to do it. I'm signed up to these movies. I can't change the fact that I don't have aura about me. Like the company has to make a decision. But like whoever is making the decision to like put a focus on him, they need to change that because like he has no main character energy, and that shit like that affects everything else around you. It's like if you like if you've seen the new Thunderbolts trailer where they're bringing in what's his name. No, the
Red Guardian.
No,
Taskmaster.
The Sentry. No,
Hyperion. Is it
the Void? Is it?
Yeah, the Void. It's like two sides of. I think it's Hyperion or whatever. A villain like that.
Yeah.
You're not telling me like the leader of the opposition is going to be Cap. I'm sorry. Like, so it's things like that where it's like, okay, if someone more powerful came along, say Captain Marvel, for example, who is she going to be taking orders from? Cap? This guy? Like, what are we doing? And it's not even like, oh, the other thing that pissed me off is trying to shoehorn, like trying to force the relationship that Mackie and the Winter Soldier had, but make it seem like this profound thing. Their relationship is very basic. It's very, very college bros kind of like humor. Trying to make it like this profound thing. That whole speech that he was giving, it meant absolutely nothing. Because at the end of it, I'm just like, bro, take the serum. What are you doing? It's like, it's the Jay-Z, like, would you have lunch with Jay-Z versus the money? Take the money, my guy.
That wasn't your answer.
Wait, no. It's my answer now.
Oh, is it?
I told you I changed it.
Shit. Sorry, I forgot about what Jay-Z.
But this is why it's triggering to me because it's like a perfect example of like you hear me like at first when I was thinking about it. Oh, the business and all you can let. It's like shut the fuck up and take the money.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? What is his reason for not taking it?
But this is I'm gonna get to that point because no, it's a good point because that's why I'm saying all this explanation. It's like shut the fuck up and take the serum because the whole argument. What they were saying there was, he was saying, "Oh, I should have taken the serum," and then Bucky was like, "No, he was saying it's a mistake. I should have taken the serum." Blah blah. Blah. Bucky was like, "No, like Cap gave you that because you're who you are." I'm like, that's the exact same argument for why Cap like made sense to take the serum because he was who he was. The serum didn't change him. It's like your powers don't come from the serum. Your power comes from like your conviction and how you use said power, how you use said abilities, right? If you're Anthony Mackie, the argument is, I am who I am, cool. But physically, I need to operate on a different level that I am operating now. And I need that serum to do that. The benefit of me being me is if I take that serum, it won't change me. I won't start like the whole thing within Falcon and Winter Soldier where it's like, you can't give a bully the serum and the first Avenger as well, where they had the army guy, the stereotypical guy, and it was like the argument against him was you don't give more power to a bully because they'll just use that power and bully other people. You're not going to be that guy because that's not who you are intrinsically. So if you take the serum, all we're doing is just getting to that standard of like who Captain America is supposed to be. Your argument for not taking it is what? It might change you? Then you're not who you're supposed to be in that position to begin with. And Bucky making that sort of trying to be the one who gives him that perspective is stupid because if anything, you knew that like Steve Rogers' character was the thing that grounded him. Anthony Mackie, you're telling me has that same thing. And obviously we've seen him as a good guy, blah, blah, blah. and that's fine. But like the whole logic of not taking the serum versus you're who you are, is like shut up. I was just getting really pissed off at that scene and that whole logic. So you take all of that, and then going back even to the fight they were having in the base, and I think I came in on the tail end. You guys were saying the conflict didn't seem big enough and all of that. I can understand that, and I agree with that, and that's definitely true. But I think for the scope and how quickly things escalated, I think that's fine. Like in terms of like if a world war was going to break out, you'd need a longer time span than this movie was operating in.
Yeah.
This was like, if this was going to start World War III, then it would have started from this incident. Like you can see in the future movies that it starts from here, and then Japan's feeling resentful and blah blah blah. So that makes sense as far as like not bringing a whole bunch of like different army. And you can mention your point about like the decision makers in the room, like have commanders. Ross was a general. So a lot of those protocols, like he would be familiar with. Plus, he's the president. He's the commander in chief. Yeah, but no matter what generals you have in the room, ultimately the decisions come from him. And if he's already there, then what the fuck do I need you guys for? It's just a deliberating point. And ultimately, he didn't make any real decisions there. It was mostly the guys got taken over, and he had to send Falcon in. So that part of the thing, like again, I agree. Like you could scale that, you can make that more realistic, but just cut into the meat and bones. Like it doesn't really change much about it. The whole Isaiah, I hate Isaiah Bradley's character.
Oh, why?
Because of what they're doing with him in terms of like the writing and every time he talks, I'm like, get the fuck out of my screen.
Wait, is it because of what he's saying? Is it the script or the way he says it?
There's no depth to him. It's like, oh, you're some guy who they mistreated, and now like now you're trying to get your I guess you're resentful about the whole nation and all of that, and they're like, oh, like, you know who them folks are, like don't work with them folks. But it's like, come on, that's not realistic. Like if you're gonna do, yes, Captain America, and this whole thing about Captain America being black and like people not accepting, like, bro, let's get to the shits, man. Like, yes, there's problems being black and white people and people sort of like judging you and stuff. But I'm telling you, competence, we have to get to the point where we're pushing the competence of these characters as opposed to like their identity. And that's the thing that's pissing me off, because like they're relying heavily on the discourse around the identity and not so much about the competence. Because the whole thing was like, if you're Anthony Mackie and you're struggling to get tags off of like Isaiah Bradley, like what are we doing here? Like, oh, you got 2, and then the last one, like, he check your ass, and like, oh, it's the last one that counts. And all these little cliche, like, just banter, and it's not really a deep conversation. It's like, oh, I don't want you to come here. Like, if you want to help me, don't come back. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You were just shook. You were shook about going back into prison. Now you're here. You're trying to be like, oh, just kill me. Oh, I'm never going to go into solitary confinement. You're already in prison. Shut the fuck up. No one cares what happens to you at this point. They could have killed you at any point. Maybe it's just I'm starting to rant a bit, but I'm just like, a lot of characters in this movie, even the fake Black Widow.
Oh, bro, yeah,
she is not believable as anyone in the Red Room.
No,
like,
but also she just doesn't do anything.
She didn't do shit, like, and she's not even like, they showed her standing next to, even her walking posture was like,
she's always like 2 steps behind Sam throughout like the whole movie. It just felt
what are we doing? Like, you're supposed to be a spy. You're basically, if you put Scarlett Johansson in that role, like you're telling me like she wouldn't do like more than what that lady did. Come on,
she's NPC in it. Like she just
waste of character.
Even Yelena would have done better than her.
Honestly, that I wouldn't even blink twice about that decision. And even the secretary of the black girl who was the secretary of staff or main person. It's like, what is your role in this? Again, not to target all the black people in this, but it's just like they're just putting them there just because we need to have this. We need to balance the contrast between Anthony Mackie being black and everyone surrounding him being white. Like that's it's so transparent to me. Like it doesn't make sense, because it would make more sense for someone like what's her name, Val, to be right next to Thunderbolt Ross. Like that's the kind of person he would have as like his second person, because you can tell this black person, we don't know anything about you. We don't know, because people like that generally are really powerful in terms of either their knowledge in terms of what they know or their influence in politics. So they tend to be slightly older. But you put this young girl, what has she done? Like what's her resume? What has she done to stand right next to the president? Not just any president, a president like Thunderbolt Ross, who's like who's got a bunch of like,
he knows people.
Yeah, like what we doing? This is the best person you have to stand.
Which makes him hiring Ruth even more baffling.
Which is crazy, because now put in the allegory next to it, it'd be like a DEI hire, right? Because that's the only reason he would have her there. And it makes sense to even make that as a suggestion, because all his moves were done by what's his face, whoever the villain was, or whatever his name is, because he's making decisions to make him appear, I was this tough military sort of white guy thing, but look, I'm progressive. I've got like this young black person standing next to me as like secretary, chief of staff. It makes sense that would be the line of thinking, not based on like what she's done. And again, she might be accomplished, but they didn't tell us that in the movie. We have no idea like what she is or why she's standing next to him. And they're supposed to sell us on the fact that she and Cap are close, because like he was like, I've got someone on the inside, and that's just someone. What the fuck? Exactly. What information did she even give you? Like what? Like what we're doing?
I was saying before you came, like, it felt like they made the story, they have like the main characters, and then they said, all right, we need people to just do things. And so we're just going to put this person here, put this person here. Like, there was no thought behind any of these characters. It was literally just to lightly progress the story. And even then, they don't really progress anything. They don't do anything.
Honestly. And
the best person was the guy who died, who was working for Sam. And I spoke about that before.
Bro, fuck that. He didn't even do shit too.
He found out about the...
He was very
No, but even that is illogical. Like, how are you... I don't know if they clarified what position he had in the army, but how are you like having access to like top level secret like scientists and serum? Like, where are they doing this research? Because like you don't have that. He's not supposed to have that kind of pool. You can't tell me someone, or if he does, why the fuck is he working in the field? That's not who has that kind of pool as well. So even all of that was just bullshit, because you're telling me like they're trying to sell the relationship as like, oh, Cap knows the people on the ground kind of thing. Yeah, but people on the ground don't get work done like that. Yeah. People on the ground are good for your missions and stuff, but when you're talking about these high rooms of power, those people are nowhere near where decisions are being made.
But all he did was get the gamma pills scanned, no?
No, but he got it to get analyzed.
Yeah, like analyzed.
Yeah, but that's like...
That's just knowing. That's just knowing like a.
No, it's not knowing a regular scientist.
Not those pills.
A big time scientist.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's not those? Because do you know why? Because if someone like Thunderbolt Ross had to get those pills made on the low in a top secret base that you couldn't get anywhere from anyone, like that. That base, they called it what they call it, Echo 1 or whatever it was, is a black spot. No satellite images. Why did Thunderbolt Ross feel like he had to go there to get that made? And you're telling me just some any random dunny in a laboratory is gonna like analyze it and tell me this?
When you got motion like that, innit, man, things happen, innit?
This is what I'm saying. Cracking, another person that pissed me off is the
villain,
the villain, of course. But I don't even feel like he's worth mentioning. That's just trash.
Honestly, that's
just trash.
Like it's up there as one of the worst villains that we've ever had.
Of course, like I don't.
We were saying before. He was this smart guy, all these calculations, Not one, like all of his calculations. Not once
did you think like Ross is gonna betray you.
Yeah, but also
like all of those calculations, you didn't think, what if he doesn't do what he says he's gonna do?
No, but also the fact that he was like, if I imprison Isaiah, there's like a 90% chance that that Sam is gonna give up. I'm like, how have you calculated that? What's the theory behind that? What's the calculations? What's the formula?
Do you know, I laughed out loud when the main guy actually.
Bro, 90% chance.
The guy I want to talk about is I can't remember. I don't know his name. The Star Wars villain guy.
Gus.
He was just terrible. But one of the lines, like when he confronted Cap in the call it a fight scene, whatever that was, he goes,
I just want to kill
you. No, it's like the hero told me
I'd have killed you for free or something,
not that.
Chance that you'd be talking
like there's a 77% chance that you would try to talk me out of it. I'm like, I could have told you it's 100% chance. This guy, all he does is talk. What the fuck are you talking about 77% chance of talking?
Speechman is his new name.
Cap is not, like, Anthony Mackie's not going to hit anyone or kill anyone. They try, like, bros. Like, and the thing is, even the action scenes, I'll come back to the villain guy, but even the action scenes, you can tell all they're doing is recreating all the moves Cap did. Yeah. Like trying to smack the thing so it comes up. Like, come up with your own shit. Ooh. That's what someone with aura would do.
Man, he used the Wakanda wings and
that was cool.
Shit.
That was I like that
against Hulk. That was right.
Yeah, but even that is unoriginal, because why the fuck? Again, another thing. Why is I thought the whole wing pack was vibranium. If that's true, why is Red Hulk ripping one of it from the other?
Just ripped it.
Why is that even a thing? Yeah. Because that is some canon breaking shit.
Because they even said at the start, like, adamantium, the strongest material in the world. I was like,
I hear adamantium being like stronger than vibranium if they want to make that argument, right? Because now we get into like a ranking of like the different metals because they have different properties, right? So you can say vibranium is more malleable, it can absorb that, you'll be using it for different things. As far as like, yes, you can say adamantium is stronger than vibranium, but vibranium is stronger than anything else there is outside of. Like, I can hear that. Okay. But if you're telling me, and again, not to say that's like canon, because I don't know in comic books if you rank them. I'm just saying if they want to make this in their universe, like that's the canon, cool. But don't then tell me that this guy can, like Red Hawk can rip that, because that's just not something you're supposed to be able to do. Unless the wings of vibranium, the pack itself is like a different metal.
They're gonna say it's the gamma stuff. That's how they're gonna say
if gamma affects vibranium, that makes it weaker enough for him to rip it apart. The Wakanda is in trouble.
Yeah, that's how they're gonna sell it.
Wakanda is in trouble. Yeah. And why the fuck didn't Banner like break out or use that to not Banner? Because they've had this technology for a while as far as like the gamma stuff. So like the US can basically fuck up Wakanda if they wanted to, which is mad.
I just feel like that's the only logical explanation for it.
Wait, when he ripped it, did he rip it in half or did he rip the wings out?
He ripped the one wing from his back.
Yeah, so it could have been like the wings is vibranium and the pack.
That's what I'm saying. But if
it's disconnected.
If you're telling me that, then that's stupid because the Wakandans made this. Yeah. What's the sense in making two wings out of vibranium and then a pack that's like titanium?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, come on, what we're doing here? And that's the only way that makes sense.
That's crazy.
And if that's the way that makes sense, that's just the dumbest thing ever. Unless you're telling me the Wakandans are dumb, in which case, then fuck Earth.
I mean, they're saying after T'Challa died, they started slacking off.
We were talking earlier about how the fact that he always had to run to go get his suit. So maybe someone's been siphoning off the vibranium from his suit.
Bro, like, he spent so much time without that suit. Yeah, and like why have no powers. Like
that's the other thing. Like, I get the wings. You're not gonna wear a backpack all day, but the rest of your body armor, you have that. You've got nanotechnology now.
We say that.
Like, why the fuck aren't you even using that?
He's basically Iron Man.
He's supposed to be.
Yeah.
They're telling you this black man ain't got pulled like that. So why the fuck are we even making this movie?
Because we were even saying like in the scene where he brought out the suit, the suit was just like shaking. It was like what are we doing here?
If you're telling, because you know Wakandans use vibranium to make clothes and shit. Yeah. So I can hear, okay, it's a vibranium weave. I can hear that. I can hear. I mean, again, I'm not trying to shoot him, Bill, but I can hear if you're telling me it's a vibranium weave. But then if you're wearing that, and I don't remember if they explicitly showed anything going through it, so you can kind of that kind of holds up if that's the argument. Because the one time where he gets stabbed and all this shit, he's wearing civilian clothes. So fair enough. Like if they want to make the argument, I can give this precedent.
It's like why? I swear it's like full-time job.
This is my point. This is my point.
This guy's running around without the suit.
Why are you walking anywhere?
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, it's not even like, oh, it's in the car.
Yeah.
It's in your base.
Yeah.
And you're driving away from the base. Like, what if something happens and you're in a bar?
Bro, they went like halfway across America? Like
bro, like what are we doing here? But anyway, I bring up the big man to say, like, you know how they have the like villain exposition talking thing? One of the worst scenes I hate was where they go to this base. They find the fact that he holds him. Yeah, like and this guy is there. They're like holding him, and he goes, "I'm gonna make was it a bet or whatever? Like, give me the information I need, and I can free you." Or like where was negotiating about reduced sentences and all sorts in that time. Okay, they're like, okay, cool. If you tell me let me see what the information is, and I'll decide in it. Yeah. My man turns around and starts like, well, you know, and starts talking about some bullshit. I'm like, bro, give me the information I need to know. Don't start telling me like all this life story. And why the fuck do you know the villain's life story about like, oh, he told him this and he told him that. Things like the villain should be the only person telling you because you're like, oh, he told me he promised me he would do this, but then he didn't. Like, how did you have a sit down with this villain and have like a therapy session? Like, what is this? And we know that's not the case because all your commands you've been getting through like comms, right? So do this based on this chance and I'll do this. So we know you don't have that relationship with him. So how the fuck do you know about his backstory? Because what happens is by the time Cap confronts Ross about it, Ross is trying to explain like his decisions, but I already know why you did the shit you did. Like the villain already filled me in. So why are we having this conversation?
Isaiah was still in jail as well.
Yeah, We know, and that's how you know Ross ain't shit, because like he knows the reason, he knows the villain. Everyone knows this, but like we're still keeping him there. And whether you could say, oh, maybe he was trying to make a show of the pardon and whatnot, that was not what that bro was gonna do. Like, so anyway, like I saw all of that to say, this movie was just disjointed. I'm happy I didn't. Well, I don't know if I can say that because then it might be
Use
like
my
illegal
Odin
shit.
card.
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy we saw the movie at a massive discount. Because
listen, I'm so glad I didn't have to pay for that. I would have been furious. I know it's not that much money, but
no, that's bro.
Listen, in this economy,
It wasn't worth. Yeah.
This movie shouldn't have been made. It's just it's one of these things where doing nothing is actually better.
Yeah.
Than
what
making this decision.
What have we got coming out of this movie now? Like, what have we learned, or what?
Adamantium.
All right, Adamantium, which we knew because Wolverine was in the MCU now anyway.
We didn't know.
And the thing is, all we know about Adamantium is what they give us in a PowerPoint presentation. So technically, another character, let's say in Fantastic Four, could have done this presentation.
Yep.
Done.
Just the Tiamat thing, I guess.
We know that I guess. But even the Tiamat thing.
That happened in Eternals, and that was it.
Yeah,
everyone knows this island exists.
Yeah.
Cool.
But we didn't know how nations were going to take this celestial body like appearing out of nowhere.
I mean, to be fair, do we not know? It's the history of the world.
Of
course they're going to beef over it.
We didn't know that they were going to mine it for resources. That's the only thing.
I mean, they probably
Again,
honestly,
all of that is in a presentation that you found out.
They could
You've had this presentation.
But wait, literally,
I'm not justifying.
they could just explain that like at the start of like any TV show.
They could.
Of any movie. Like number two, that that they want the Avengers back. We know that already because we know there's 2 Avengers films coming.
Thank you.
So what did we learn from this movie?
Even beyond that,
that like, Sam teaches the kid the kick. Is that it?
Yeah.
What else do we learn from this movie, bro?
And that there's a Red Hulk.
The action scenes.
There's a Red Hulk.
The action scenes are just like,
which we knew from the trailer, by the way.
Yeah. All the moves are just so slow. I'm like,
yeah, we were saying
like,
that before.
like the moves themselves. It's like, what are we doing? I was thinking, is this in 2 times speed or whatever? And other times when they sped it up, they did it way too much.
Yeah.
Where it's like you didn't even you couldn't tell what physical movements were actually taking place. And then the whole fight in the church with Captain America and this other Donnie from Succession.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
From?
Yeah, that's why I recognize his face from. He's the Madsen's right hand man. If you remember,
shit.
The guy who always spoke Swedish all the time. That's why I recognize his face.
Yeah.
But I've seen him in some other things, so he's not just a Succession guy. I just recognize him from that. But I've seen him in some other things. But even I didn't know that guy was that big. To be fair, or Anthony Mackie is that small. One of the two. Yeah, but he had some stature to him. But even then, that fight was ass because like you're telling me you're tanking all these punches to the face, and what gets you is a kick at the end. What? Yeah. What are we doing? It's just inconsistency.
Yeah, even the talking during is like, the dream I had where I killed Captain America, he was much bigger.
It's like cartoon level dialogue. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
I was saying, like, it felt like a lot of the editing was like they were cutting a lot, like, for, like the moves to kind of make it really like choppy and to make it seem like he's actually like a really good fighter or whatnot. But then they just randomly would slow it down and then, like you said, speed it up as well.
Yeah, like even the punches,
it make sense.
It was much better in a TV show, to be fair.
Yeah. Honestly,
thank you. Why not get the same team that did that?
If they wanted to copy Winter Soldier, copy the fucking choreography. Like, just use those choreographers and just ask them to give us some shit here. Like,
honestly, like the best thing they could have done if they were going to make this Captain America movie, which they ultimately would have based on decisions they made, was to get the Russos, given that they're back in the universe. I would have just scrapped this, take the loss, and just get the Russos to do a Captain America movie. Because at the very least, what we know is the action is going to be lit. And that will buy you a long, again, people, slow minds, focused on action, that will take you a long way. Even if the story and everything, if everything else we said here was the exact same, but the action was just really improved,
one of the other
would have
things
been fine.
The Russos did well was taking characters we've already like with history and that we've already seen and make them be able to actually interact with each other and it work. Like, so bringing in obviously Thunderbolt Ross, Captain America, Bucky, like all of these people, like we could have got something so much better. Like, I know obviously they probably would only want to work on something that's major budget or whatever, but didn't they?
They could have made they could have made this that.
Yeah, they could have. And to be fair, I imagine the budget for this would have been quite a lot given the.
It is based on the reshoots and all of that. Yeah. So and the other okay. Harrison Ford is a legend, all of that, blah 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 blah. I'm not a movie guy, so I don't think I can name like 2 movies that I've actually, even 1 movie that I've watched that is actually in. I know he's done Indiana
Star
Jones.
Wars
I've never seen any of those movies. I haven't seen. I've seen Star Wars, but he's like, I swear he's what, Han Solo, but that's so removed. Like he doesn't. It's not the same person. That's probably the only thing I've actually seen him in, like in a movie that I've watched. So I'm not trying to shit on him as an actor or anything. Well, he was just not the guy. Like
I prefer the original Ross.
No. Like yes, but like obviously he passed away, so you can't get it. But I'm saying like pick someone else. Like he just looked way too old and way too battered to be doing Ross, because Ross, the way Ross was, the fire that Ross had, he doesn't have it. And not just that, the whole thing about like when he turns into Red Hawk. This is gonna seem like a minor point, but it's so obvious. Why the fuck has he got trousers after he shrinks back? Why does the trousers even last while he's in the Hawk form? Because he didn't know he was going to turn into that. So these are regular trousers that he's got on. No, like we saw him, Bruce in the first Avengers. Bruce was completely naked when he fell down from there. Someone had to give him clothes when he turned back, and then they made the adjustment. He started like wearing the shit, and he knew he had this problem from time, so he knew what to expect in terms of clothes and shit. Why the fuck do the trousers just magically stay the correct size? And after they've been expanded, they're not elastic, they shrink back.
It's illegal. Calculate it.
Were you trying to see something?
No, but it's the logical. It's the imagine Red Hawk dick swinging low. That's crazy.
Hey, come on, man.
You started down that road. I just finished it.
And then you
said, and you know he gives up heat as well.
What rating was this film? Was this a 12?
Hey man, what link did we send him? Like?
As long as it's you guys who gave me the link, I didn't go out there finding it for myself.
I'm not involved.
What was I gonna say? I forgot my whole train of. Yeah, but the whole point I'm bringing that up is the lack of thought that goes into like this movie, and you can see like that level of detail they just don't have. Like that's a very simple decision, but it's like the whole Game of Thrones.
I thought you'd be pissed about the cherry blossom stuff.
Of course I was.
Because this is what I'm saying. As soon as I saw the cherry blossoms, in my head I thought
this is finished.
His daughter's gonna walk out and then.
I'm surprised, and I'm happy she didn't show up at the scene, because that would have pissed me right off. Bro. I would have pissed me right off. But if you're Sam, that's a shitty move and a stupid one. Why are you taking him to the one place now he can't go back there with his daughter again? And that's where you took the battle to. That's where you deliberately because you want to do talk no jitsu. Yeah. Like it's crazy. It's actually mad. Like what we're doing here.
Bro, Sam only beat one person, and that was the guy at the start, and like you said, he cheated.
Even that, I don't actually think he beat him. If that was a real fight, that guy is not dead yet.
Yeah,
100%.
He's not finished.
Yeah.
So basically, he didn't beat anyone in this movie. Like, it did. Basically, we were saying before. Well, I was saying before. It didn't feel like a Captain America movie. It felt like just a sequel to Hulk and Captain America's about.
Honestly, like they just what they need to do is recon and like, what's the decision? What's Ross? But what's the decision behind Bucky now being a congressman?
Oh, bro.
You don't want to get that.
It has to be Val or something. Like Val has got him into some sort of Congress.
Of all the exposition that they did,
what sense does that make?
Well, they're gonna try.
Like, thank you. Explain that.
The Thunderbolts explain.
Because like, he's gonna be in the field, and Bucky is not a congressman type of person. Never was.
Like,
so
he's
why
always been a soldier? Like,
never was. So what's the? They're gonna have to make some gymnastics work in the Thunderbolts movie for that to make sense. Yeah. But even that, like, why in that case, why reveal it?
He could be a spy. He could be a spy.
Don't know. What, in the US Congress?
Yeah,
like they don't have enough of those already. Like, what information is he gonna get? I don't know. Huh? What information is he gonna get that they couldn't just get someone else?
He's gonna be in Thunderbolts as like the US representation of it. But
sorry, and if he's gonna be a spy, the one thing you want in a spy is the ability to be inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is not gonna know Bucky?
We know your face, bro.
Oh, it's like, I'm gonna take him away and have a conversation, and you tell me this.
It's just someone to leak information.
Like
leak it. He has to get the information.
Yeah,
where's he gonna get it from?
As a congressman.
And the other Congress people will be like, I'm just gonna volunteer this information that's gonna incriminate me.
Knowing that he couldn't be a spy.
Not a spy, but like someone who is someone on the inside that can feed information to Val.
And they have way more experienced people that have been doing it. Like Val she's more apt to be a congressperson spy. She'll get more information than him. So why are you sending someone worse than you to go do a job that you're better at? Stupid.
We'll find out in the next movie.
I guess we won't.
I think he's just a congressman. That's it.
Unless he's a Skrull.
God, don't see. Oh.
If that's the case, nothing will be more obvious that that's not Bucky.
Yeah,
Like, if you're telling me the whole dilemma is who's a scholar, who's
maybe he cooked.
Maybe it's like, oh, who's a scholar, who's not. Oh, Bucky is a congressman. Yep, that's Cap. Like, what are we doing here? Anyway, like this movie,
Trash.
Honestly, like it's a waste.
Is it worse than Thor: Love and Thunder?
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
Love and Thunder is that's just something like that's like a disgrace to cinema. And I'm not a cinephile. Like, I'm not someone who's like sacrosanct about movies and blah blah blah. That's a disgrace to everything and everyone who worked on it.
A lot of people said or described this movie as an action movie as opposed to like an MCU movie. But me personally, I didn't turn up to watch an action movie. Like, I went to watch an MCU movie. Like, and this.
Thank you.
It didn't.
Like, this didn't give.
Like, it's just, and the thing for someone like me who's like, I'm all about the intricacies. I'm all about like trying to figure out some shit. I'm trying to figure out, like, I always harp on character motivations and decisions because that's the thing I watch any piece of entertainment for. Like, yes, there's elements about fighting and dialogue and all these other things, but I'm trying to figure out where characters are going to go before they get there. That's the fun for me. And if I feel like, oh, I'm getting there way too quickly, or the way you're getting there is just illogical, I lose interest. And that's where the MCU is at for me. Whereas like before, I've been going back and rewatching, I was watching the Black Panther like trailers from the very first teaser, going back to the movies and all that, and it's like you're thinking, like, imagine the theories that were coming out about around that time about like who could possibly be in it, like what role could these characters be playing, like the decisions people are making, how interesting it is, the relationship between characters, all of this. And to see where the MCU is now, where it's just like I can close my eyes and give you the whole script for this movie, and it's just like what are we doing? Like, it's just such a fall from grace. And the thing that it makes me lament is the fact that I have no anticipation or like excitement about like any of the new projects. Not the Avengers, not Doom, whatever the fuck that's gonna be, not Fantastic Four, because people like that trailer. I thought
it was great.
The thing looks trash. The CGI on that looks bad.
The eyebrow looks crazy.
It looks bad. And I'm even the character set, like the actors are good. Okay, Pedro and Margaret from The Crown and all these people, love those actors. But the story, again, I'm going off of a teaser or whatever it was, so maybe they have time to change my mind. But honestly, I've just lost interest in the MCU, and I'm contrasting that to like what it was at the start. Like, you watch Endgame and Infinity War, and you're just like, those were the days, man. Like, we're not too far removed from that. Like, that's not that's not the kind of vibe that we should be having with the MCU, especially when right now is when the story is supposed to be cooking with the kind of shit they actually have.
Was Infinity War? How many years ago was Infinity War?
2018.
Something like that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, 2018,
wow.
something like that. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
Always more
So,
longer than that.
The whole point of like it's not supposed to be that far is because back then we were dreaming about what these phase of movies were gonna look like post Thanos and everything. Like this was the dream. To realize like let's go back. Like it's crazy to think
Back
that
then we had great characters and stories. Now we don't have anything.
Yeah, it's great characters, great stories, like great writing, like great scripts, great everything.
We weren't trying to, because like one thing that's annoyed me as well is that especially with this, like with the reshoots, like they do all these like fan screenings or test screenings and then start changing up the script. And I'm like, why are we listening to fans? Like I know for the most part we want them to listen to us, but we know a lot of fans are not like us. Like they don't want the same as us. Like, hey, shout out Kendrick, but like a lot of fans they don't want like it will be people who probably like Love and Thunder that they listen to. I'm like, why do we need their opinions?
Because those are the ones that are
the ones who
fanatic enough to engage, and they think those are the fans.
And they'll constantly give them the money.
And that you know what it reminds me of?
So why are they reshooting all of these things? Why are they like changing up all these scripts? Like, just keep these things the same.
Do you know what it sounds like? Sounds like DCEU around Batman v Superman times. Because really? if you're into all the talk around like the reshoots and following those movies, there's reshoots, there's fan screenings, and people
all of those as well.
Yeah. And people are changing.
Struggling.
People are changing things, listening to the fanatics as opposed to like the real fans. Like just all these decisions that like we're more interested in the executive talk and like people behind the scenes and like who's hiring who, which writer is doing which, than the actual movie. That's exactly what this phase is now. Like the MCU has become the DCU.
I'm gonna say it. Disney has ruined Marvel. Disney has completely ruined Marvel.
Oh, it's ruined a lot of it. Star Wars as well.
Yeah, it's ruining Star Wars.
Wait. Wasn't Disney there during phase 1, 2, 3, and 4?
No.
Was it not?
They came in after Avengers 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Disney
Avengers
has
1
always-
is when
It was a lot.
Avengers 1 is when they bought
Really?
Marvel. Yeah.
That's great.
And then everything after that's been under Disney.
I think they've ruined it with the shoving down of the content through our throats with the TV shows and just like putting out a lot of content out there which is just shit.
Yeah.
That's when they kind of
All right.
basically after Endgame.
Like Marvel was
All right.
operating independently with their own money up until 2012, which was when I think like they started making money back
From
with
Disney Plus onwards then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney
that's
Plus
that's when
onwards.
it went all downhill.
That's when it seems to.
Because we didn't have Disney Plus for movies up till Endgame.
Yeah.
It was literally right after that.
Endgame, yeah. The Disney Plus era is what's killed Marvel.
Yeah, the TV shows
Yeah.
mid as well.
Yeah, I mean, at the time when they were saying, "Oh, these things are gonna intertwine," I'm like, "Nah, this is gonna be shit."
Yeah.
They just need to get directors who are brave enough to make the movie, and Kevin Feige needs to keep his dirty hands out of it.
The whole thing needs to go back to a focus on characters. And the other thing is like the people they hire as well, like people that have real spine about them in terms of like conviction about their characters. Like you're not telling Steve, like what's his name in real life, Chris Evans, something like, "Oh, Captain America did it." Like, what? He wouldn't do that. Like that kind of pushback. Samuel Jackson, obviously at this point, he just gave up. By Secret Invasion, he was just like, "Fuck it, do what you want."
Yeah.
But like earlier on, you could tell like these people have discussions about, okay, this character is not making that decision, and that's one of the things I liked about like the Russos, especially because like that's what they rooted everything in. This character wouldn't do this, or if they did this, this is
It's
how
basic
that would happen.
storytelling, but people just a lot of
They're
directors
just like
don't know how
just
to do it.
weak, spineless actors who are just like in it for like the Marvel brand of it all, as opposed to.
I've said
like,
it
just
before,
doing
yeah.
something.
But for Marvel, for them, obviously, it's always been just to make money, and they've seen that they don't need to realistically tell good stories to make money. And it's funny because I think in the lead up to this film, all we've kind of been hearing is that they had an extra year for this movie. Kevin Feige wants to focus on quality, not quantity, blah, blah, blah. And then we still got this as a movie. It's like, how did you have all that time?
I think, to be fair, I think they were stuck with this movie because they made this a long time ago.
Yeah.
Or like the last year and whatever
But
it
still,
is,
they-
it's
they-
just been reshoots. But that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying scrap it all.
Yeah.
Just bite the loss.
Yeah.
Because you know, watching this, you know it's not at the standard you want to then pivot
But
to.
if I'm right, they've made decent money from it so far, right?
Well, yeah, I think right now it's like 200 mil, whatever it
so
is.
For them, they're in the long run, they're going to see it as a dub. So, does that mean?
But I don't
like-
think it's gonna have the legs. Like I think that's just like it's like
Yeah.
you get it. Like
But
it's not gonna have the legs.
The point is that they can put out shit and we just have to eat it, basically. Like,
Yeah.
It's just crazy, man. Because like, I'm at a point where
but they'll-
this is why I've left and I'm team DC now.
Yeah,
because
but
at least DC
I'm not
are
gonna
giving
go
me
that
stuff.
far.
at least DC are giving me.
DC is in a much better place right now.
Yeah, DC's in a
I
much
have
better
a
place.
personal
Yeah.
lifelong agenda against
Yeah.
DC.
So did I,
just
but then
can't-
the MCU turned me against them.
Yeah.
So
I'd just rather not watch anything.
I had to
Like
open-
at that point,
I had to open my eyes.
you will never get me in the cinema to watch anything Batman or Superman related.
I mean,
like
me
Captain-
neither. I watched all of them online. So
Yeah.
I've never even watched like Justice League. I don't think I've.
Oh, no, I
watched.
haven't watched
Like,
Justice
yeah,
League,
I haven't,
no.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah, they're just making money out of the name of it
yeah,
because everyone's gonna go watch a Captain America movie, especially the first Black Captain America. But there'll be a lot of people who fall off from that boat, and will just wait until it comes out on Disney Plus.
Like
Yeah.
think about the first Black Captain America. Like think about what can like Black Panther.
Bro,
was
Blacktain America,
What was it?
they robbed us.
2016. Bro, think about the hype for that. Bro, I used to work in O2 at the time. I was watching this trailer. It took me so far back. Like we used to live in Woolwich at the time. I remember watching that teaser trailer at whatever time at night that trailer released. I was crying in my bed. Like I was crying in my bed seeing that, you know, with the first shot of that waterfall where they show all the black people. I was like, a tear welled up in my eye. I couldn't believe it. The day the first trailer came, I was in front of a customer. I get the notification, like I was like, excuse me, make up some bullshit excuse, went to the back. I was screaming in the back, like watching the first. You know what it says? I've seen a bunch of things, but I've never seen anything like this. This is my bro. I was hype.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like Black Captain America. Everyone's like, just get this guy out of here, bro. Fucking talk no jitsu. Everything is a conversation. I want to talk. Like, don't give me the therapy shit. Like, fuck off. Fuck off. Get the serum and go beat someone up. Like,
Well, she's gonna get the serum and still be doing the talk
he's
stuff.
still gonna be doing the same shit because that's who he is. Like even Steve Rogers, like he was with the shits. He would give you the hands first and then talk to you while you're in recovery. That's how you talk to someone and get the message.
Bro,
through.
he'd leave you like Peter Griffin and then be talking to you.
Like, imagine trying to talk to someone, but that person knows in their head, I can take this guy. Fuck what he's saying. But if I've beaten you already, and you're in the hospital, like you can't, like in your brain, if you're trying to fight back, we've already done that. Like we know what it is, so let me listen. Like just logically, like if you've just went out, just go on the road and trying to like give someone advice. Like they have to respect you for something you've done, or they know like they can't see you.
To be fair, in this movie, he didn't need the serum to fight anyone except Hulk.
What are you talking about?
Like he didn't need the serum.
He needed the serum to fight the first guy who fought in the church.
He didn't really need it.
Because that guy, that guy's not dead yet. He just gave him. I mean, he just for the sake of the movie, they just let it be. And if you're gonna beat someone, like do it convincingly. Like that guy's just he was just
even if he had the serum
like,
though. Even if he had the serum, he wouldn't have beaten Red Hulk.
Yeah, but again,
he wouldn't
part
have
of the spectacle here is the entertainment of it all, as far as action.
Yeah.
All he did in that Red Hulk fight was absorb blows, and that wasn't even him; it was the suit.
Yep.
So like you're not doing anything. Like you couldn't even get away from the guy. You can fly for fuck's sake. How is he catching up with you?
This is Hulk. He's faster than him.
He doesn't fly, bro.
No, but Hulk jumps like crazy, and we saw that as well.
Jumps, not flies. I can go to Mark 3, Mark 5. Red Hulk isn't doing that. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
What are you talking? Like, see, this is where
the
stupid logic
Hulk
comes in.
is fast, man. Hulk is fast.
Sang, fast and fly have two
and
different
he whipped his
spellings.
wings out, didn't he?
There's a limit to how high you can jump.
Fast and fly have two different spellings. You realize that? They're different words.
I know,
they mean different things.
Obviously, Hulk is not slow as well. Like,
did I say he was slow? All I made was a statement. Falcon can fly.
Okay.
The thing is,
how is that like?
If you say you jump here, let's say you jump like that or you jump like that, yeah. Sam just flies, just and you're gone.
You don't even change direction. Yeah. Go straight up.
Wasn't his wings damaged though? As well.
No, at the start it wasn't damaged.
Okay.
Yeah, go straight up. Yeah. You can't. Okay, can Red Hulk jump into space?
No.
Listen, sometimes
probably not.
Sometimes there doesn't always need to be like a devil's advocate. Like
thank you.
Sometimes it's just, Sometimes it's just
thank you.
He would fly away. Like
that's just obvious.
Like he wouldn't be able to catch him. Like that's
that's just obvious. But anyway, this movie was shit. Didn't need to exist. Fuck the MCU at this point, honestly, because they're making stupid decisions and telling me everyone's on the recast T'Challa train. Who the fuck are they gonna like recast? People keep putting this Denzel's son in there. If they hired this guy to do Black Panther,
he's a great actor though.
Oh wait,
he's not T'Challa.
The one in Tenet.
Yeah,
he's not T'Challa.
Is that son?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's not T'Challa.
Well, why is he not T'Challa?
No, he's not. He's not strong enough.
What we need is T'Challa. Like if I'm being real, is not a celebrity black actor. That's the last thing. Like. I would like that would make a T'Challa stand out. You need to get like an actor who's relatively unknown and physically can like take up that spot. Because what you need to do, because if they put him in that role, all he's gonna do, and this is the thing that's in their heads, all they're gonna do is make a caricature of Chadwick Boseman. They're gonna try and like recreate, like you don't want that at all. Or even if the actor, like this no-name person, comes and does that, at least you have nothing to map him to. So it's easier to buy that if that's what he does. I'm not saying that's the best thing to do, but if you have a template that already works, cool. If you wanna start from there, like it makes more sense. If you're Denzel, like you're too big of a character or a known celebrity to start going into this. Maybe I need to see him in something. Maybe that's being unfair, but I've seen his face. Like his aura doesn't give me T'Challa, bro. T'Challa is there's a very specific kind of like. I've got the shits, but I'm a chill kind of vibe that you need to have. And he doesn't give me that. Just as a person. And even some people put this Aaron Mufasa guy, like, no, not him.
Definitely not him.
Not him.
Who's that? The British guy?
Aaron Pierre.
Yeah, not him.
Isn't he mixed race? Or is he black?
Yeah, it's not about him being black. Not him. As a character, he doesn't have, as an actor, he doesn't have it.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have it.
I feel like it would have to be a black person.
No,
yeah,
of course.
That should be dark skin.
Okay, dark skin. Okay, yeah.
That part.
yeah.
There is no version of T'Challa in any comic book where it's light. Just saying. But yeah, like
we didn't rate the movie.
Does it need one? Whatever the lowest rating is.
1 minute. So
I'll put it. Whatever my rating for Love and Thunder is, just one level above that.
You must give that a 1, no?
2 then.
I'd give it a 4.
Damn.
I need to revisit my ratings, but
I think
I'd say it's a 5.
Yeah, I'd say it's a 5 for me.
It's not 5, bro.
Below average is mine.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
5.